All right, it's your boy Spank Dog, aka Puffinstein at YouTube. Like, comment, share, subscribe. BC Spank Dog at Instagram and Puffinstein 514 at Twitch. Let's get it. All right, so we're gonna get into the fact that Elon Musk made a post on Twitter because he found out that the people at his company are trying to replace him. They are claiming that Elon Musk is not present enough because I guess he's at the White House all the time. His not being there is contributing to the lack of sales at Tesla, and when they downsize the workforce, he'll be to blame. Tell me what you think about it yourself. Drop a comment and let's get into it.
All right, we have a lot to break down in no time to waste because I have this unshakable feeling over the past few months that everybody orbiting Donald Trump is perpetually on the verge of some sort of mental health break. Makes posts that read like he's in the middle of a manic episode. I'm not saying that to be edgy. Like, this post genuinely reads like there's something wrong with the president, and you have to be able to admit that. Elon Musk is currently melting down on his own app because his own company is looking for a formal way to remove him as the CEO and replace him. So all of this loops together to paint a picture of an administration that is kind of on fire. I'm not even going to mention.
I just want you guys to know that this kid is important. This kid is really important to democracy. I've never seen a kid this young speak with such knowledge about politics. It's almost like he's a prodigy. I wonder if he was the 5-year-old, with the tie, like Alex Keaton from Family Ties. Alex Keaton was a young Republican. My man's a young Democrat. I don't like the labeling because Democrats did something the other day and they were like, see, the Democrats do it too. When it comes to politicians, you could get shady stuff from either side. So I don't like to be labeled.
The tariffs or Signalgate, that is all for another video. I mainly want to talk about what the admin members have been doing over the past 24 hours to paint a pretty scary picture. Before we jump in with Elon Musk, let's read this middle of the night post from Trump. Now, don't worry, I respect you guys too much to read this whole post. I would never do that to you. But let's read a few key portions that really show how the president's losing his damn mind. So he said, the Democrats are really out of control. They have lost everything, especially their minds. These radical left lunatics are into the impeachment thing again. All right. First of all, can I just point out the fact that Trump has mentioned Biden 600 times in his first 100 days?
I always hear Trump talking about Biden. He stayed with his name on his tongue. I don't even remember seeing Biden talk about Trump hardly. Because he's talking about the first 100 days. So they'll be addressing what happened in the last administration. After the first 100 days, you really shouldn't be talking about the ex-opponent or the guy. You know what I mean?
Every single time Trump pivots to the Democrats, he's trying to distract. He then just rants about inflation, which is going to be caused by him because of his tariffs, Russia, Ukraine. Like, do you see? He then mentions Adam Schiff and says, Adam Schiff demanded a pardon. Not true. They had to use the power of the auto pen and a full pardon for him and the unselect committee to save them from expulsion and probably worse.
And this is just, I want to point this out. Like, we got freedom of speech in America. Don't ever forget that. Don't forget our freedoms. That's what makes us buck. When we see people trying to turn, America is great. There's a reason why people try to get into America, and it's not only money, it's the freedoms. We forget we can talk about our leader and not face incarceration. In other countries, if the leader finds out you're talking about him, you're going to jail. We need to be happy about our freedom of speech. He's calling Adam Schiff Adam Shifty. Now, you expect the people who are looking at the politicians to have critiques and call somebody out their name because we're normal people. But for the president of the United States to call people out their name on the regular, it's childish. Even when I do it, I feel a little silly. I try not to call people out their names out of respect, even for people I don't agree with.
This part is insane. He's essentially calling to expel members of the opposing party or implying that members of Congress who are elected by the people, by their constituents, are just subject to removal because of personal vendettas. It's kind of wild, and it's a fever dream that Trump keeps pushing where due process is gone for enemies. Due process is gone for everybody he hates Just what an insane post, all made worse by the fact that his buddy Elon Musk then continues the meltdown a little bit later. Now, Elon got worked up and began to melt down because of reports that top Tesla executives were looking to replace him. This article says Tesla board opened a search for a CEO to succeed Elon Musk. With profits and the stock price sinking, board members told Musk he needed to spend more time at the company, which only makes sense. I mean, if you're a board member, you have a fiduciary duty to make sure the company is operating and not being tanked by one person. I don't blame the board members for coming together and trying to oust Elon Musk. Not just because I hate Elon Musk, but also it's kind of their job as the board members to keep the company afloat. This says
there's nothing wrong with them stepping up and saying the company is going in the shitter. You know, come help us. You're the guy who put this together.
About a month ago, with Tesla stock sinking and some investors irritated about Elon Musk's White House focus, Tesla's board got serious about looking for Musk's successor. Board members reached out to several executive search firms to work on a formal process for finding Tesla's next chief executive, according to some people familiar with the discussions. Tensions had been mounting at the company. Sales and profits were deteriorating rapidly, and Musk was spending much of his time in Washington. Around that time, Tesla's board met with Musk for an update. Board members told him he needed to spend more time on Tesla, according to people familiar with the meeting, and he needed to say so publicly to restore faith in investors, is what they're saying.
How is that slander? It's almost like he says what they're saying is fabricated.
Musk didn't push back, but Tesla has been on a losing streak in the months since Musk, its chief executive, began spending much of his time helping Trump. And I mean, I don't blame the board for trying to push back when Musk is doing stuff like this on Fox News.
Yeah, I mean, generally, and it's like, well, of course, who wouldn't want to save the baby pandas? And you know, in some cases, they've got a show panda, which they will trot out for special occasions. In a lot of cases, they don't even have a show panda.
No panda.
There's not even one panda, because we asked for pictures. And
okay, I'm going to try to say this carefully because Elon Musk is inversing reality in a very, very dangerous way. He's claiming that Democrats have to rely on manufacturing evidence to make an appeal to emotion. He's saying that we'll be like, save the panda, when there's actually no panda to save, when that is exactly what Doge has done. In the vast majority of cases, Doge does not provide any sort of information, any sort of external verification of any of their findings, but they make these insane appeals to wokeness. It's not even an appeal to an emotion. It's an appeal to anti-wokeness, let's call it. They'll be like, did you hear there are DEI dance classes in Mumbai? They'll literally just throw a dart at a woke board and be like, did you hear that there's black trans swimmers over in, I don't know, South America? And then Republicans will go, oh my God. That is literally the definition of manufacturing evidence to appeal to emotion. Now we're saying, hey, there are long-term effects to cutting research funding, even across the globe, even if you don't see in your day-to-day life how.
Listen, yeah, you know, medical research is important. I don't know what's going on at the top. People, there's so many conspiracy theories. Sometimes I wonder if any of that even matters. But I don't like to go with conspiracies. I like to go with what in my gut I feel to be true. And I believe what Makla says right now, that we need to fight diseases.
Us funding research for viruses in South America or South Africa could affect us. They do. It helps us in the long term. Elon Musk is completely inverting reality, as always. And when this dude is so detached from reality, it's no wonder Tesla executives want him out. So after this Wall Street Journal article posted, this article is from the Wall Street Journal, Elon then posts on Twitter, it is an extremely bad breach of ethics that the Wall Street Journal would publish a deliberately false article and fail to include an unequivocal denial beforehand by the Tesla board of directors. Journal had in their article the fact that nobody at Tesla responded for a comment. And then afterwards, they updated and said Tesla denied it. So Elon Musk is lying here already. But when he says that Wall Street Journal is posting a deliberately false article, wow, could you imagine deliberately posting falsehoods online? Could you imagine using your platform or your app to...
Now he points out the fact that I was talking about before. You call the Wall Street Journal, you call them out on something, and it's something that you actually do with X also known as Twitter.
Post falsehoods to millions of people, Elon Musk would never. And obviously, if the Wall Street Journal were lying, I would call them out for it. But the Wall Street Journal seems to have verifiably talked to multiple anonymous sources within Tesla that backed all of this up. And the person that's opposing those multiple anonymous sources is just Elon Musk. Elon Musk is the sole man who's refuting the story. And I'm going to go ahead and trust the multiple sources within Tesla over Elon Musk, whose feed is just a bombardment of lies and slop and misinformation and conspiracy theories. So I feel like what we're witnessing from Trump and Musk isn't the end of the admin. The admin is still beginning. I'm not going to say the walls are closing in or whatever, but I do think that both of their crisis management skills are pretty poor. We really see it with Trump. We saw it during COVID. We saw it after the election, after he lost it. We saw it even when that plane crashed over the Potomac a few months back and he came out and blamed it on DEI. This dude's crisis management skills are abysmal, and right now there are multiple 5-alarm fires. Supply chains are about to be heavily disrupted once the tariffs take effect in just a week or so.
All right, guys. So you pretty much get the gist of what's being said. Definitely go drop a like, subscribe with, like I said, I wrote a comment in one of his posts and I called him a national treasure. The kid is good, man. When I watch basketball and I see somebody that looks like he could be the next Jordan, I take notice. And this kid is like a political, I wouldn't say Jordan because he's young. Anthony Edwards right now, Victor Wembanyama, I would say he's the equivalent of that, but in politics. I just wanted to talk about the labeling thing real quick before I sign off. The reason I don't like to be labeled Democrat, even though it seems that my views are more what people would consider not just left. They would consider them far left. But there's nothing extreme about me as far as like I'm just a good-natured person. I don't want no problems. I want everybody to be fed, sheltered, clothed. And, far left, yeah, because I care about the poverty-stricken. They call me a bleeding heart. That's insane. A bleeding heart is a bad thing. A person who cares a lot in this day and age is a bad thing. And all these slimy people that you guys root for. I seen people. There was a person the other day that had like 100 million followers, right? And he was making bundles of money, bags. Talk about getting to the bag. He was getting to the bags, and it just puzzles me how there's really, really good people out here. I mean, really good people that. Everybody says that they want the right thing. Then when you're righteous, they're like, that's corny. It's boring. Like, yo, how could righteousness be boring? Do you even hear yourself? I don't understand the getting on a person who wants to help people a lot. Bleeding heart, far left. How about a person that just really cares? So was Mother Teresa, Gandhi, Martin Luther King? Those were far leftist extremists. Come on, man. People, you got to wake up. You got to start seeing the people that really care about you, man. It's your boy Spank Dog. I'm out of here. God bless you guys. Much love.